Madam Vice President, when the parent bill was debated on the 29th of November, I participated in the session, but I did not speak in the debate. And this is because I make a point in this House of not repeating what other senators have said when I agree with what is said.
Such was the opening of the contribution of Corinne Baptiste McKnight in a debate on just one of the 50 bills to which she would contribute an input in the 6 years she spent as an independent senator. On December 17, 2007, then President of the Republic, Professor George Maxwell Richards, selected Mrs. Baptiste McKnight as one of the 9 independent senators whom the President is constitutionally allowed to appoint in his own right. However, with the advent of President Anthony Carmona as the succeeding president, Mrs. Baptiste McKnight was one of 4 independent senators whom President Carmona replaced on July 30th, 2013.
Now, I was very pained to discover that before her term of office expired, she was removed, she along with others were removed from the Senate. So the Senate therefore did not have the benefit of her wisdom, sagacity, and so on. And I think that was really most unfortunate. But she continued to serve her country well.
And service to her country is what Mrs. Baptiste McKnight did best. After attending Bishop Anstey High School in Port of Spain and having completed her studies at the University of the West Indies at Mona, Jamaica, and the London School of Economics and Political Studies, she taught for a year at secondary school level before joining the Foreign Service in 1963. The young and energetic Corinne Baptiste would serve in various overseas missions, a high point of which was an assignment to help establish the Trinidad and Tobago High Commission in London. One of her early associates on that assignment was Frank Abdullah, who was appointed Trinidad and Tobago's first Chief Protocol Officer when the country gained its independence in 1962.
Later on, I was sent, that was 1963, I was sent to open the mission in Jamaica, set up our mission in Jamaica. And while there, I was got a telegram asking me to go, that's in 1964, to go to London to take charge of the mission, as there were no diplomatic officers there, and they were going to send someone else to help me. So that was 1964. I went post-haste to London, and the person who came to assist me was Corinne Baptiste. That's how we met.
Corinne Baptiste would play a key role in helping to set up this country's London mission. But having done that, she went on to voluntarily give of her time, energy, and resources toward helping newly arrived Trinidad and Tobago and other West Indian students in London resolve such issues like accommodation and acclimatization. One of the students who benefited from her benevolence was her youngest brother Martin, who went on to become a cordon bleu chef and to later open the popular Martin's Piano Bar in Newtown, Port of Spain. Corinne Baptiste McKnight was the product of a proud, single-parent San Fernando home in which her mother, Carmen, ensured that Corinne and her 2 sisters and 2 brothers maintained a strict decorum that included a respect for God and education and the value of true friendship.
But I think she never kind of lost her touch as somebody who was a friend, and if you were a friend, she was your friend, and somebody who I think never wanted to see anybody disadvantaged. I think she had a real passion for justice. and seeing that people got what they, that were not done out of what they deserved. And I think I saw that quite often in the way she went about her work as a diplomat.
And indeed, diplomatic service was a natural fit for Corinne Baptiste McKnight. Therefore, no one was surprised that in her long tenure with this country's foreign service, she would continue to climb the ladder, appointed to one significant diplomatic office after the other. They included Ambassador to the United States, Permanent Representative to the Organization of American States, and Ambassador to Mexico.
She had a broad vision of international relations, and so that it was no surprise to me that when the government changed, she was asked to serve our country as ambassador in the United States. Of course, I think she distinguished herself very, very clearly there, and her record stands for all to see. Again, at the change of government, she was recalled back to Port of Spain, which I thought was a mistake, but I mean, that's in the very nature of things. And she really was there as a friend to many. And in due course, I had the opportunity of inviting her to become an independent senator. As you know, presidents in Trinidad and Tobago can't exercise much discretion in their own right, but the appointment of independent senators is one such area that they can do so. So I invited to serve as an independent senator in the belief that her vast experience would assist greatly in the workings of the Senate. And so it did.
As an independent senator, Mrs. Baptiste McKnight would be as dedicated to her service to the country through her work in the Parliament as she had been through her work in the Foreign Service. In addition to contributing copiously to the Senate debates, she served on a number of parliamentary committees, including the Public Accounts Committee and the Executive Committee of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. She also chaired one of the departmental joint select committees with an oversight of government ministries, statutory authorities, and state enterprises. But no matter the weight of the responsibilities that commanded the attention of Corinne Baptiste McKnight, her altruistic nature never left her. She never lost the common touch. One example of this devotion she had for the welfare of others was her dedication to a little-known organization called SHIP, the School Health Intervention Program. It was founded by a number of Bishop's old girls who were determined to improve the difficult living conditions of some of the students of the venerated Bishop Anstey. Though the children were bright enough to earn a place at Bishop's, some of them lived in such dire conditions that sometimes, but for the intervention of SHIP, they would attend school without breakfast or lunch. As chairman of SHIP, Mrs. Baptiste McKnight went about the job of improving the lot of these youngsters without fanfare or photo ops. And according to her lifelong friend and schoolmate, former Member of Parliament and national sportswoman Marilyn Gordon, the job, as far as Mrs. Baptiste McKnight was concerned, also involved improving the lot of the parents by getting them trained and employable.
And all of her friends knew if Corinne called you up at any strange hour, it's because you have to help somebody. And she would use every contact that she had to help somebody in distress.
Following her retirement from the Foreign Service, Mrs. Baptiste McKnight served as Permanent Secretary to the Prime Minister. However, as a retiree, she continued to serve on the National Commission for UNESCO, the Election and Boundaries Commission, and the Mediation Board. Mrs. Baptiste McKnight died on March 7, 2014, at the age of 73. But the acclaim relating to the qualities she possessed and exhibited in her long and dedicated service to the country she loved has not stopped.
We have known Corinne for several years. And that is until her very untimely passing. She was not only a tower of strength, but she was a person of great integrity. She was a storehouse of knowledge.
She was always a stickler for knowing the facts before she said anything or did anything. I think this was, a hallmark of her, of what she was. It really was how she operated.
I would like the younger bishop's people to remember all that she has done and pattern themselves as bishop's people after her. Straightforward, unafraid, principled, caring, concerned, and nothing was too good for anybody, no matter the station in life. That was her position.